awesome humans. I'm Natalie, and I've got a question for you. Do you find change really difficult? Like, do you feel a lot of anxiety and stress when you have to go through change? Of course you do. If you're a human being, this is totally normal. Change is really hard for the human brain to handle. And the first thing I want to do in this video is give you some insight into why change is so anxiety-filled for us as humans and what happens in your brain when things are changing in your life. And then I want to share with you some of my absolutely favorite science-backed tips to deal with change with less anxiety and stress. Are you ready? All right, let's dive in.
Hello, awesome humans.
And it takes courage to say that your brain is not your master. Okay, so we're gonna dive in, but quick request, if you like this video, if you find it valuable, please like it, please share what you think in the comments. I love to hear your thoughts, and subscribe to my channel. I share videos like this to help you struggle less and find more joy and ease in your life every week or every other week. I give myself some grace. All right, so let's dive in. Why is change so full of anxiety for you, and why is it so difficult for the human brain? Here's the thing. Your brain's number one job, and the thing it's always focused on, is how to protect you from danger, right? That's how the human brain has evolved, which is kind of cool because being alive is great. So your brain is always looking out for your safety. What that means, however, is when things are changing, there's a lot of new, unfamiliar, and uncertain things that are going on. And to your brain, that just means possibly more danger. And so it works overtime to look for things that are gonna go wrong, or might go wrong, or might be annoying, or might be difficult, whether or not they're there or not. The other thing to know about your brain is it has what's called a negativity bias. All of us have it. We are much more sensitive to anything that is wrong, or could go wrong, or difficult than we are to anything that's positive. And again, because your brain is always looking out for danger, and danger usually has a lot of negative signals around it, that's why your brain has a negativity bias. So those two things combined, right? The fact that anything unfamiliar signals possible danger to your brain, and because of the negativity bias that you have, it means that anytime there's change in your life, you feel anxious, you feel stressed, because your brain is over-focusing on everything that could possibly be wrong about this change, or annoying, or frustrating, and ignoring completely anything that could be good, or comfortable, or meaningful. And so having this insight is really powerful because it can guide us to practice things to reduce some of that anxiety. And the first tip I have for you is perhaps the most important and the most powerful, and that is edit your brain's story about whatever change you're dealing with. Just because your brain offers you a thought doesn't mean you have to take it. You are in charge of your brain. Be the editor of your thoughts. And so if you're going through, maybe it's a change at work, right? There's a reorganization, you don't know who your new boss is gonna be or what your job is gonna be like. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty and unknowns and stress, and your brain is giving you a lot of stories of, oh my God, the new boss is gonna suck, and your job is not gonna be as interesting, and all this kind of stuff. Edit that story. Here are two questions I want you to ask. The first is this story true? And for something to be true, you gotta have facts to support it. Often our brain, when it's dealing with change and uncertainty, it makes up a lot of stories that are not true. They're kind of dramatic. So ask yourself, is this story true? What are the facts I know to be true to support the story? And the second question to ask when you're editing your brain stories about change is this story helpful? And what I mean by that is, does wasting your energy ruminating on that story of how this is gonna suck, this is gonna be bad, I'm gonna hate my new job, I'm gonna hate my new colleagues, how does that help you? Does it help you actually improve the situation? Does it help you do your job better? Does it help you in any way? The answer is usually, when it comes to these kind of stories, is no. So that's your first practice when you find yourself full of anxiety about change, is to edit your brain's story about that change by asking, is the story true? And is the story helpful? The second tip is something to help you counter the negativity bias that your brain has, and specifically the negative lens through which your brain looks at any change because of what we talked about. And the best way that I can offer you to do that is by practicing gratitude. Gratitude is nothing more than zooming in on what is good or positive or okay amidst this change, even though some things might be difficult, even though some things might be stressful or annoying, right? Remember, your brain wants to ignore anything that's good. And so by over-focusing on everything that could go wrong or is annoying as part of this change, it's causing you so much more anxiety. So when you practice gratitude, when you ask yourself, what are some things about this change that I am grateful for, that I appreciate? And they can be really small. Maybe you appreciate that you have inner resilience to handle it. Maybe there are some actual positive things that are part of this change. When you practice gratitude for them, you are literally reminding your brain, listen, brain, there are difficult things about this change and a lot of uncertainty, but there are also good things. And when you do that, it's not about ignoring the difficult stuff. It's about giving yourself some balance so that you don't waste all of your energy kind of spinning out into the negative thoughts that your brain has. And you have a more positive mindset to help you go through this change. So that's your second tip, is to practice gratitude for what is good or okay about this change. And the final tip I have for you is to create a new tiny ritual that will be part of this new situation at work or outside of work for you. And here's why. Our brains are really sensitive to loss. Let's say you have $1 and you've lost it. You feel much more down. You feel more of the impact of that loss than the joy you would feel if you found $1. Our brain is, it feels a lot of pain around loss. And the reason for that also has to do with danger. When we lose something, that signifies danger to the brain. And so with change, there's probably some things that you're losing, right? Let's again use our example. It's a change at work. You're losing the stability that you had. You're losing familiar routines. That causes a lot of anxiety to the brain because it's over-focusing on the loss. So creating one tiny little ritual that you will take with you, that you're looking forward to as part of this change, gives your brain something positive to focus on, gives your brain a reminder that, hey, here's something good that is going to be part of this change. And this little ritual can be anything at all. So let's say things are changing at work, right? And there's some anxiety that you have around it. Maybe your little ritual is you're gonna start your morning off with your gratitude practice. Maybe your little ritual is that you're gonna sit down and have your coffee or tea before you dive into email and not multitask. Maybe you get yourself a new notepad. I love notebooks. I'm a total stationery queen, right? Maybe you get yourself a new journal or a notepad, and that's gonna be your new thing going into change. Anything new and positive that you're looking forward to, that you can bring with you into this change, is going to help your brain not be so anxious about the things that you're losing and actually have something to look forward to. So I hope you find this helpful. Again, your 3 tips to deal with change with less anxiety are: edit your brain's story about this change by asking, is the story true and is it helpful? Practice gratitude to counterbalance your brain's negativity bias that over-focuses on everything that is wrong about this change and forgets anything that is good or positive. And finally, number 3 is create a tiny new ritual. Bring something new with you into this change that you can look forward to, that you enjoy, so that there's something for you that is positive, that is new, that you've added to this change that helps your brain handle some of the things you're losing as part of it. As always, I hope you found this video helpful. I always want to know what's resonating, what questions you have, so leave those in the comments. And I will see you back on my channel next week. I share videos like this to help you struggle less and thrive more, because that is what we're all practicing as part of our awesome human journey, is how to practice these skills to struggle less, even amidst challenges, and live with more joy, more ease, and more meaning. Have an awesome rest of your week.